I was able to build and scale my lead gen agency to over $20,000 a month in under 90 days. And I did this while keeping costs minimal and with no past experience. And today I'm going to show you how you can build your lead gen agency the same exact way. Yo, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I want to talk about how to build your lead gen agency to $120,000 ARR from zero. So ARR means annual recurring revenue. So basically, I'm going to teach you how to get your agency from 0 to 10K a month, all right? So let's get right into it. So to start, the first thing you want to ask is, do you have a landing page? If no, you want to basically create a very simple landing page with a VSL, which is a video sales letter. Now, if yes, or after you complete that, are your email system set up? If no, you want to set up your email system. So essentially, an email system that I would start off with for all you guys who are starting off, you want to have 10 domains, and then you want to have 2 inboxes per domain, so that's 20 inboxes. And then you want to forward all of those emails to one master inbox. And then you want to connect all of those domains and all those inboxes to smartlead.ai. That's basically going to be your whole entire cold email system for yourself. Now, after that's done, you want to basically select your niche and craft your offer. That's actually when you start to get into the weeds of actually building the business and who you're going to go after. So in terms of selecting your niche, for your niche, you want to use the leverage principle to select your niche, or you want to select a list from all the B2B industries. And I actually have a link in the description for like 100 or more B2B niches that need people to do lead gen for them. So you could click the link in the description and check that out. But what the leverage principle is, you basically take your past experiences, your past knowledge, or your past passions, or whatever you're passionate about, whatever you have knowledge in, and you leverage that into finding the correct niche for you. So let's say that you were working at an accounting company for like 3 years. You're going to have an edge in that niche over other people. So you could pick accounting as your niche, or companies that sell to accounting companies. Because number one, you're going to understand that niche, you're going to understand that market. Number two, you're actually going to understand what resonates with them and what their pain points are. And number three, when you hop on a call with them, you're going to speak their lingo. You're going to be able to resonate with them, and you want to hop on a call with them, and they're going to be like, oh, hey, this person speaks my language, like they get me. That's going to give you an edge over everyone else who's trying to go after that niche. So that's what the leverage principle is. Now, here are some examples of some niches. So you have B2B SaaS, you have marketing agencies, and you have IT companies. Then what you want to do is you want to create an offer. What I say is you want to create an MVO, which is your minimum viable offer. So what your minimum viable offer is like, you don't want to spend too much time doing this, but you also want to have an offer that works, that actually resonates with cold traffic, that resonates with, people who don't know who you are. So what you want to do, especially if you have no case studies, you're starting from zero, is you want to make sure that it's performance-based. You want to make sure that you have a risk reversal. You want to have a very low or no setup fee. You want to have a money-back guarantee if that KPI isn't hit. And then you want to make sure that you have really good offer positioning. So for example, performance-based. You want to do a per-call model to begin with, right? You want to say, hey, I'll get you 10 qualified sales calls, or I'll get you 15 qualified sales calls for like $200, $300 per call. And if we don't get you 10 calls within a month, then we're going to give you your money back, or you don't pay a single cent, right? That's what risk reversal is, and that's where your performance basis is. It's going to make it a lot easier for clients to say yes if you have a performance-based offer and you have a risk reversal. And then in terms of a low or no setup fee, if you don't have any case studies, you don't have any testimonials, you can't really charge a really fat fee up front. But what you can do is you could charge something like a tech fee or a low setup fee so that you're not really paying out of pocket to fulfill the service, and you're not throwing away money to just test emails for them. So you could do like a $400, $500 tech fee just to kind of break even, so that you're not actually working for free, you're not giving away money, you're not throwing away money on their systems, so that like you actually can break even. Okay, so that's what you're going to have for the setup fee. And then for the money back guarantee, let's say you say 10 calls. If you don't get them the 10 calls, then you have to refund them, right? Because you will have to get them the result. You want to build a real business here. You want to be upstanding businessmen, okay? Or businesswomen, whatever the case is. So you have a money back guarantee if that KPI isn't hit. And then in terms of offer positioning, this is a little bit more advanced. So you don't have to think about this too much as a beginner. But what I mean by offer positioning is you want to figure out ways to offer your services that a lot of people aren't doing. For example, right now I'm doing lead generation for a logistics SaaS company who's targeting like 1-800 companies who have 1-800 toll-free numbers. So if my offer was, I'm helping logistics SaaS companies connect to more companies who have toll-free numbers, that is a way for me to position my offer that is going to get me a lot more results compared to just, I'll get you 5 to 10 calls on a pay-per-call basis. If I'm reaching out to those companies who have that specific target market of like toll-free numbers, right? So that's what I mean by positioning your offer. you want to make sure that your offer resonates with your ICP and try to position it in different ways, okay? That's what I mean by that. Now, after you select your niche and you craft your offer, then what you want to do is you want to build your lead list. I have a bunch of different videos on my YouTube you could watch to do this. Like you could use Apollo. I like using Apollo because I think it's one of the cheapest and most efficient ways to scrape leads right now. So you build your lead list. Now, after this, you write your email copy. This is actually when you're writing your email campaigns, right? I also have a lot of videos showing you exactly how to do this, but for this, if I go into specifics of exactly how to do every step, it's going to be like a 2-3 hour long video. So I just want to show you the actual flow of how everything works, and then you can go from there. So you build your lead list, and then you write your email copy, and then after, you basically launch your campaigns. Okay, so you're going to use Smartly to launch your campaigns. Now, this is the metric that we're looking for. 0.3% discovery call booking rate. So for every 1,000 leads that we send to, we want to be able to book at least 3 calls. So if we're not booking 3 calls from 1,000 leads, then we want to go back and we want to select our niche, craft our offer again, another MVO, and we want to build our lead list again, write email copy, launch campaigns again, until we get that 0.3% discovery booking rate. Because once we have that 0.3% discovery booking rate, that means that these campaigns are working and we can really scale them. Now, after we get that and you're going to be taking sales calls, this is where we start to take sales calls. This is where the sales process really begins. Okay, so after you book those calls, you get a call. Let's say you get a prospect interested. Now you're going to do a discovery call with a discovery framework, right? I have another video showing you exactly how to do the discovery framework. But basically what you want to do is you want to qualify this prospect. You want to say, why are they on the call with you? These are the questions that you really want them to answer on the call. Why are they on a call with you? What motivated them to hop on a call with you? What are they doing for lead generation right now? Do they have any SDRs? What is their current LTV of a customer, right? How many calls are they booking now? What are their goals? How many calls do they want to book going forward? What is their budget? And what is their timeline for making a decision? And who else needs to be involved in making a decision? If everything looks good and quote them a price and they say, hey, this looks good, we want to move forward, then you want to book a proposal call, right? So that's this proposal call book. If yes, you're going to create a proposal deck and you're going to create an agreement, and then you're going to send it to the prospect before the call. If not, you're going to take more sales calls, you're going to refine your script, you're going to keep getting better at sales until you get to the point where you're booking proposal calls. Now, when you book that proposal call, you want to basically create a proposal deck, create a contract, which is your agreement, and you want to send it to the prospect before the proposal call. Now, on the proposal call or the demo call, whatever you call it, you want to walk through the proposal with the prospect, right? You also want to make sure that everyone who is involved with the decision-making process, the buying process, on their end is going to be on this call. So you want to frame that in the discovery call. Say, hey, listen, whoever really needs to see this or who needs to be a part of this decision, just, schedule them and invite them to the proposal call, and I'll walk through them and we can do a Q&A. So how the proposal call usually goes is when you create your proposal, you want to create it based on how the conversation went. So however the prospect framed the problems that they're having, you want to frame it the exact same way and use the exact same language in your proposal so that it resonates with them. And then it's also going to make them think like, oh, wow, this person was actually listening. Like they actually took notes, they actually were focused, and they actually understand our problems. Now, what you want to do on the call, the proposal call, is you want to set it up as, you want to set the agenda of the call, and then you want to get right into the proposal. And then after that, you want to do a Q&A session, okay? And then after the Q&A session, you really want to push forward to close the deal. So again, if you close the deal, then you move on to the next point. But if not, you're going to go back, you're going to take more sales calls, you're going to refine your discovery call script, you're going to refine your proposal, and you're going to keep doing that until you close the deal. So if you do close the deal though, that's when we begin the onboarding process, guys. So on the onboarding process, what you want to do is 2 things. Number 1, you want to have the client fill out the onboarding form. And number 2, you want to create a client Slack channel and you want to invite them to that. So what this is going to do is number 1, it's going to allow for the onboarding form, it's going to allow them to actually give you the information that you need. So you're going to need to know about what's their ICP, what's their target market, what case studies do they have, and what is their offer. You need this stuff, okay? So you need to get them to answer these questions, right? You need to have all of these things on your onboarding form right after you close them. And then number 2, for the client Slack channel, you want to onboard them to Slack because it's just a really good place for you to communicate with that client and make sure that the relationship starts off really strong and it leaves a really good first impression. So that's why you want to do with Slack. And then after these things are filled out, what you want to do is you want to set up your client's email systems very similar to how you set up your own systems, right? So 10 domains, and then you want to have 20 email accounts, and you want to forward it to one master inbox, and then you're going to forward that to Smart Lead, and then you want to warm up those emails. Okay, now after those emails have been warming up for about 12 to 14 days, in the meantime, we're actually going to begin our client fulfillment. Okay, so what we do in the client fulfillment is, number one, we want to actually build a lead list from the onboarding form that the prospect or the client now filled out for us. And then you want to write your email copy from their offer and their case study. And then you want to launch their campaigns. So now, using the same exact metrics that we use for ourselves to determine success for the client. So this is why I love lead generation, right? Because the same thing that I'm doing for myself to book calls, I'm doing for my client to get success as well. Because I only have to learn one skill, okay? So after I build this lead list, I want to write my email copy, I'm going to launch campaigns. I want to try to get to a 0.3% meeting book rate, which means after every 1,000 leads, we're booking 3 calls. If not, you're going to keep building lead lists, writing email copy, and launching campaigns. You're going to keep trying iterations of different copy, different targeting, different subject lines, and all that stuff until you get a 0.3% meeting rate. Now, when you get a 0.3% meeting book rate or above, then you want to scale those campaigns. And what I mean by add TAM is you want to add the whole entire total addressable market of your client into those campaigns so that you could scale. So after that, you should be booking 10 meetings. You should be able to book 10 meetings, okay? So if you haven't booked 10 meetings yet, you need to scale the campaigns, or you probably haven't scaled for long enough. But after you book those 10 meetings, what you want to do is you want to get a client's case study. And this is so important, guys, because this is what's going to allow you to go from like 2K a month to like 10K a month very fast. Right after you get that case study, you're going to want to keep working with that client to book meetings. But now on the back end, you're going to begin your scaling process. Now, this is where we really start to scale, and we go from one client, and now we leverage that client's results to really scale. So this is when we begin our scaling process. So what you want to do is you want to take that case study that you got with the client, and you want to put that case study on your website, and you want to incorporate that in your VSL. Now, how you do this is, what you want to do for your case study is you want to actually do a Zoom call with your client, or some sort of podcast call where the screen is split in two. And you want to just ask them some questions like, hey, like, what was your pipeline looking like before you worked with us? And what does your calendar look like before you worked with us? What does it look like now? How much revenue have we generated you? Would you recommend us? What were you feeling like before you worked with us? And how do you feel now after you're working with us? Would you recommend us? That sort of thing. Okay, that's actually going to help you a lot, right? And if you put down a specific number of meetings you booked them or some ROI that you generated for them, it's going to help you a lot in your email copy as well, and in your VSL. So your VSL is going to be your video sales letter. So you're going to put that case study on your website and on your VSL. And what you also want to do is you want to leverage those case studies in your email outreach. So for example, let's say that you worked with an SEO company and you generated them 10 meetings and made them 15K last month. Right? You want to do is you want to take that SEO case study, put it on your website, put it on your VSL, and then you want to reach out to other similar SEO companies and be like, hey, we just helped X SEO company generate $15,000 last month in revenue by booking them 10 sales calls. Would you be interested in how we could do something for you, right? And then what you want to do is you want to follow the same exact lead gen and sales process that I had all the way over here with building your lead list, running your email copy, launching campaigns. And then when you have the discovery booking rate of over 0.3%, you want to take your sales calls, do your discovery calls. And by now you should be a little bit more comfortable with doing sales calls, proposal calls. You should understand a little bit more about how the sales process works. So you follow the whole entire lead gen and sales process. You want to keep on repeating that until you sign 4 clients at $2,500 a month, or 4 clients at 3K setup fee plus $350 per call. If you do this, you will be at 10K a month, or even more if you do the performance-based and you get good results for your clients. You'll be at around 10 to 13K a month. But this is the exact roadmap, guys, on exactly how you're going to go from absolute zero to $120,000 ARR. It can be in little as 6 months, guys, if you really put your head down and work. For me, it took a lot longer because I really had no roadmap or anything. But I truly believe if you put your head down, you have the proper roadmap, you have the proper guidance, and you follow this to a T, you can get there in 6 months, guys. Yeah, guys, building a 6-figure business is not easy, but with the proper roadmap and guidance, it definitely is doable. It took me years because there were so many things I didn't know, really kind of go in depth into it. I'm going to link that video in the description below. You can check that out. It's like around that 35-minute video. It'll go in depth into everything, like the full roadmap. So definitely check that out, guys, if you guys are interested. I hope you liked this video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next one.